What's up everybody, Haney here, coming back with another MadLab MMA optimizer video. And today I wanted to talk about large field GPPs and what it takes to win. And what it takes to lose when you win, and there's some weird psychology that goes into these. Do not take this strategy and put it into a smaller field GPP. You do not need to be nearly as aggressive in less than 1,000 person pool as opposed to these sometimes 30,000 people pools. So what I have in front of me is some fight history, and I just wanted to point out some relationships between the payout, the draft percentage, and some of the lineup construction. So let's see, this first win here, we have a $100,000 win. That was a solo takedown last weekend. And you can see why it was a solo takedown. You've got two low salary guys here, a 7,300 McDessie and a 6,800 Danho in the same lineup. And when you multiply these together, that's an extremely low combined ownership percentage. So this person was brave. No one in the world is was gonna tell you to play this, but it shows you that the crazier the lineup, the more likely it is you can solo take down. But if you go in there making lineups like this, it's also a good way to go broke really fast. So let's just scroll through some of these. So you can see this one had a main event winner, and it had a couple of long shots, solo takedown, super low ownership. And actually, fun fact, there were two higher optimal lineups than this one that were completely unused. Here's another, that's a decent win. This was a pretty big tie, and you can see that the ownership percentages were higher for this week's optimal. This one also included a main event fighter. And then let's see, our lowest salary fighter was a 7,600. Here's another pretty good win. Also had a main event fighter and then a big underdog. Lowest owned fighter was 20%. So the higher this goes, the lower this is going to go generally. Let's see. Here's a really nice one. $200,000 solo takedown. Here you had all three title fights in the optimal. You had a couple of big underdogs in here, and then two 10% fighters in the optimal, which is really hard to get to, both of these in the same. And what's interesting here is you have a favorite that was super low owned. Here we go, 3,400. So this is kind of losing when you're winning. If you put in 150 lineups to do this, you probably made barely any money. So over the long run, you're gonna be losing money faster putting in lineups like this into the main GPP. You can see it's all pretty high ownership, except for Davis, but we had a lot of people on this lineup, and gosh, that's hardly worth it over the long run. If you're aiming to do this, you will lose money. In the main GPP, this is super viable lineup in smaller field GPPs. So let's see, here's another big payout. This was a strange card. It looks like the main event was not in the optimal, and our lowest percent owned was 9.2%. And then you had a 6,900 winner. Let's see. Here we go. We've got, that's a pretty nice payout. Here's another crazy underdog. Remember this one? Vieira was subbed, and nobody in the world was going to tell you to put anything on Hernandez. But this is still UFC, the MMA. Crazy stuff does happen, and if you're on it a little bit, you stand to profit greatly. Also stand to lose a lot of money. So there is a balance here, and we'll talk about that. Here we go. Poirier McGregor, another main event fighter, also was one of the key underdogs on the optimal lineup. $150,000 takedown. This was a two-way tie, but yeah, pretty nuts. You had a lot of you didn't have the super chalk McGregor that night, but you had a lot of relatively low owned combined to get you there. So this is another way to do it. Just as a whole, if you start multiplying these together, that kind of gives you how chalky or not your lineup is. And this one got it done. It was a really nice lineup. We recognize this guy. This is my winning lineup. And you can see, I remember that night, MadLab was high on Antonina Shevchenko. And gosh, that ownership, I mean, was amazing. And then, I think I had 40 lineups that night, and you just plug in different dogs here and there. And Sasha Palatnikov happened to get it. But beyond that, Figueiredo, 50% owned. I was super chalky. Just getting the right ownership and being on the right low-owned people can get you a giant payday. Nobody was going to tell you that Sasha Palatnikov was going to win that night. That's not anything you're going to get advised to do, but that's what's cool about hedge-weights is nobody's a 0% chance to win. I think tonight's card, the worst underdog still has a 30% chance to win, and that's pretty high. So that's not anything you should go in thinking you're going to fade these underdogs. And then you just have to think about who can get me there salary-wise and who's going to be low-owned. And then here's another one, decent takedown, good amount of ties. Main event winner. Again, remember MadLab was all over Rob Font on this one. That was a nice low-owned call. Surprised I didn't win that one. Because I had a lot of both of these guys. Let's see. I think Win that night was pretty low-owned and unlikely, but he got it done. Crazy things happen, so you gotta find the right balance of getting these low-owned guys in there. But let's scroll back up and look at main event fighters. So you've got one there, one there, one there, one there, no, one there, one, three there, one there, one there, one there. So it's a really good strategy to get 90 to 100% of your lineups to have a piece of the main event. We had that weird one with the eye poke no contest. I didn't put that one on here, but in general, these guys are gonna get there because if you think about it, the salary is usually pretty good for the underdog in the main event. So if they get it done, there's a really good chance they're going to be in the optimal. So if you're shaving ownership, it's probably off of the favorite. But gosh, if some of these favorites go the distance, it's just also insane value. 156. Let's see. He was the underdog and went the distance. 144. This one went the distance. 116. and that wasn't a super crazy fight, but they start getting up there. Let's see. I remember. Yeah. Anyway, it's just a high likelihood they get in there. 115 for Thompson. Love how skinny his stat line is. Just punching. All right. So let's go into the optimizer and see what we can get into for this week's card. It's the fight night. Whitaker versus Gastelum. All right. So this is the Fantasy Labs MadLab's MMA projection suite. And right now I've kind of got it sorted by projection, and that gives me, you know, who MadLab thinks is going to win, obviously, and then I kind of start looking at salary and how are these lineups going to shake out, and I see that, you know, I bet you I'm going to get a ton of Juan Espino, and let's see, some Chase Sherman and some Kelvin Gastelum to round out my lineups. So let's just run with little modification. I have my template. I've shown you this. Avoid fighters from the same fight. You will not win large. Well, never say never, but really unlikely to win the large field GPP with this unchecked. So let's see with pretty default what the my ownership looks like. Yeah, almost all Juan Espino. Apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. Let's see. And Chase Sherman. Yeah, so it's taken those dog winners that MadLab likes and is plugging them in to just about every lineup. So that's something we'll have to adjust. So let's see. But I do like that. You know, those are going to be my heavy dogs of the day. Let's see the ownership on these guys. 30 and 22 combined. I mean, that could get you into a decent payout. Probably have a good amount of ties. We're not looking in this section yet. This is going to be your solo takedown section, but also your crapping money away section potentially. So we just think we need to see how much of a dog these people truly are in MadLab's eyes. Sometimes you can look at the weight class, like, is it a heavyweight? Okay, well, one punch can get it done. We saw that a week ago, but we'll come back to these guys shortly. And once we spread out some of this ownership, I can't recommend going 95% of your lineups with an underdog like that. So let's see, what is Espino? His chance to win. Looks like 46% chance. He's heavyweight, so that's a really good one. I bet you this ends up being a little bit more popular than 29%. But this is something you want exposure to. Could be a good piece to a winning lineup. Alternatively, this Romanov coming in with 0 is also something that you probably don't want to do. So let's see. Yeah, so by default, and that's one of the flaws of projections, and that's why we point you to these hedge weights is, you know, you're picking a winner in the projections, but that doesn't mean they will win. So you need to balance that out. So this is a pretty big hedge weight, and this this is probably a pretty important fight, but I'm just thinking pivot wise and some recency bias, I might go pretty heavy on Romanov. I could see him being a lower owned favorite. So let's see. So 42. We'll see how that shakes out, but you definitely don't want 0 when the optimizer kicks this back to 0. So we'll fix that. So let's start fixing it by knocking down a couple of these. I didn't look at Chase yet. Let's see what Mr. Sherman. 3, cusping near 4. All right, we're riding. We're going 4. Chase Sherman is another big guy that can definitely get it done. 50% chance to win, looks like. So let's go run this again. Now we get Fabinski popping out. Fabinski is a middleweight, 55% chance to win. Let's see. Probably need to knock him down a bit. There's value on both of these guys. Look for takedowns. We like that. High upside to rack up points. So we're gonna get some ownership here. Yep, there is value here for sure at 8,300. Takedown guy, definitely want. So the optimizer is steering us correctly here, getting high here, but still that's too high. Let's drop him down to 40. Looks like we lost my Sherman. 40. What happened? Letting this run. You see our fighter pool starting to get a little bigger. Let's delete these. So I delete these and resave because in Fantasy Labs, to populate your main page ownership next to your pool, this part, you have to delete and then resave. So, all right. And one other thing I am gonna do tonight is, let's see. I'm probably not gonna, you know, if this doesn't happen, I'll lose, but I do a lot of the time do this just because it's so likely that the main event is in there. You could play this the opposite way, and then the couple times a year it doesn't pan out, you'll get paid, where you exclude the main event fighter. But that's a good way to go broke, since it does happen so often. You could see the payouts are still tremendous with main event fighters in there. So I like to go extremely heavy. If I'm not gonna play the main event, I mean, it might be 5 to 10%, but I'm gonna go for it on this card. I like both of these guys. So this is a group, and I'm saying use at least one of Gastelum or Whitaker. So every single one of my lineups has one of those guys. And that is one place I am a little bit different. You know, 6 plus 4 is 100%, but there's some wiggle room in there to go a hair below your max. But it's just, yeah, it's hard to recommend fading the main event. But if you do it and you're right, someone pokes someone in the eye and they don't fight, you will make a lot of money. But you will lose a lot of money. Say you faded last week and you didn't have that 140 point win. You probably didn't cash very many lines at all. So your loss got a lot bigger. So you're going to be losing probably at a faster clip than you would ever win. And you better hope that you do win when there isn't a main event fighter. So that's not a great strategy to try to take one of these downs. You definitely, when you're losing, you want to have some kind of cash coming back in. You don't want to be getting $0 because you'll just go broke so fast. So my preferred dart throw is going to be on low ownership fighters, not necessarily strange main event fading lineups. Personal preference. You can do it a little bit, but it's hard. Okay, so let's see where we are now. Optimizer's really liking Kelvin as our next up plug-in fighter. That's way too high. We really like Whitaker today. Kelvin's live. I don't know. It's interesting with him. I always thought that he was a better welterweight. Like he would be one of the best in the world, but it hasn't super impressed me as a middleweight. Besides ending Bisping. So I'm keeping Gastelum. I'm probably going a little bit lower today on him. I think I like some of the other dogs better. But definitely has that ability to end the fight. So don't fade Gastelum. Let's see. So I had 86. I'm going a little bit lower. I'm probably going to go like 20. I'm playing 150 lineups. That's still a lot of Kelvin Gastelum. But I think riding Whitaker today. And these GPPs, you kind of, have to be willing to take a stand somewhere. It's difficult if you don't. Okay, where were we? We were going to put a cap on Gastelum. I think I did it on the other screen. Let's see if it carries over. What are we getting now? Al Hassan, Whitaker. That's what I want. You can kind of see, sort this by salary. Let's see what kind of weird stuff we have going on down here. That's actually not too low. It's one way to get unique. Is get away from the 50,000. But I like that. That wasn't too far away. All right. Now we're getting closer to just kind of our base. And then we're going to play with our ownership and where we want leverage and where we want to throw our dart today. So you want a good core. You can see most of the winning lineups I showed you had some chalky people in there. It's just how do you mix and match those, and then you'll not win this GPP 90% of the time, maybe more, but the one you do covers you for years of playing. So it's a weird thing. Do you want to lose slowly forever, or do you want to take some stands and try to win? Now, just a reminder, this is can be painful. It requires a large bankroll. You can do this in the mini-max, same thing. Just make sure you have the bankroll ready. Do the math in your head. Are you going to be able to lose this thing for months? And you know, MMA is tough. It's once a week. You can't just get back on the horse. That's a long week to wait. And sometimes it takes some time for this to play out. But with MadLab's core picks and then playing with the ownership, you definitely can get there. So let's keep going. Let's get our core set up in line with the DFS. Let's see. Where are we too high now? Al Hassan. So let's see. He is a showing up. I guess this is an ARA. If he loses this fight, it might be good night, Irene. Accusations against him. Okay. So it looks like this is our chalky favorite. Okay, so, and then let's see, his opponent, Jacob Malkoon. Let's tackle both of these at once. It's only path if he can weather the early storm. Let's see. Yeah, basically MadLab, you know, wants to see if ARA can gas out and Malkoon can steal one. So yeah, let's, you know, two. That's high for a 6,900. So mate, let's get this guy in the mix. Let's definitely, we're gonna go on the lower end of chalk here, and let's get some Jacob in our lineups. So I think I want to do 35. This is one of our weird pivots where we're not totally screwed. We still have a ton of lineups with ARA in there, but we're definitely moving forward big time. If you know, the one in every few fights, some crazy underdog, and this guy's not even that. He still has a 30% chance to win. So, like, 30% chance to win, 9% projected ownership. I mean, that just seems like opportunity right there. If he wins, he's in the optimal. That's bad logic by the field by not understanding that. So what we're gonna do is his projection isn't gonna lend itself toward getting. Well, we can try the fireball. So each time you press this, it increases the amount of exposure you have. I'm not 100% sure to what degree each click gives you, but let's see. Okay. Did that do what we wanted? No, it didn't. MadLab says 20. I'm gonna go 30 today. It also doesn't kill me if he doesn't get there. It blows a little hole in my day, but I still have plenty of equity of cashing with my other ownership. So this is one way to do this. to increase the exposure naturally is you can click on the projection cell, and the expectation is he goes in there and gets murdered. I agree with that, but the projections don't account for the 30% chance he may pull this off. So I'm going to just type in a 50 and give him a max immediately of 30. And there you go. Now we've got him. Okay. Gonna win a GPP today. Probably not. Really high likelihood we're not. But this is how you do it. Overtime, you take little shots here, a little bit over the field there, a little bit under here. And when you're right, your field of competition is so much smaller. All right. Now, Stevens. Let's see what our boy Stevens. 3. He's coming in just a little bit high. I'm going to try to take care of that with the ice. Let's see. We're starting to box in the optimizer pretty hard here, and we can release some of these afterwards if we're getting some weird lineups. All right, let's look at Luis Pena. Decent chance to win here. This is a lightweight. Let's see what our DFS breakdown has for us. 3 to 4. So he's sitting right in that range naturally, so I'm going to leave it. I like when that happens. Let's see. Tony. Big favorite. Let's see. $9,400. Takedown guy. It's hard to plug him in with this price. Looks like he's at a pretty good range for me. Let's see. Let's check up against our. So we've got 21 fighters. Who are we missing? Andre Arlovsky. The optimizer is fading a heavyweight. Nope. We're not doing that. Yeah, 2. So since he is the favorite, can he get that first round KO? Yeah. But gosh, if Sherman just either wins or survives, I'm gonna put Arlovsky but go pretty low. If I'm wrong, I still have a chance to be this has a chance to be non-optimal. What's our Arlovsky ownership? It's pretty low. Well, shoot. What do we want to do? Yeah, crazy stuff happens. So we're kind of going Jacob Malkoun as our weird favorite, or weird underdog to get in the mix. Let's look at Arlovsky among... I don't know. It's been so bad. But it's heavyweights. But he's the favorite. It's like if his price was right, maybe we do want to just try to limit our field a little bit on him. I'll give you a max of 10. I don't want to waste a ton, but I know that you can. Deep down, this may turn into a fade. If I'm not liking my exposure elsewhere, especially in Arlovsky's price range, that might be. Even though I just said don't fade heavyweights, we'll keep that one small. It's just in the context of where else you're trying to take a shot. As long as you are trying to take a shot, you don't need every single piece, because then you might spread yourself too thin, and then you don't have the right ammo to make the right combinations. So we'll keep that at 10. What else? And it looks like you didn't come in, right? So that's another situation where you just have to change the projection a little bit. And these boxes around it mean you changed it. If you need to come back later, you can just click the X. If you're trying to make lineups for a different contest type where you don't need this crazy stuff. Smaller field, you could probably just completely fade some of the lower guys. Because you don't need them. If you're wrong, you still probably don't need them. The odds that someone has them in right combination is just so low. Just giving you the best total odds lineup for smaller field is a better strategy. This we're definitely mixing. Let's see. How is my basket looking now? Please delete. There goes. I'm gonna save. Whitaker at 80 is looking a little aggressive. We're gonna go 70. Okay. That's not what we want. Burkjack. What were they again? Yeah, this is interesting. Projection's just not high enough to come in at that level. We're gonna up him a little bit. And this is a guy, you know, compared to Arlovsky, this guy actually, you know, has had some recent success. Not on the way out. Back-to-back 100-point plus performances. Arlovsky's thrown just so many grenades in there in a row. Where is he? Whoops. Okay. Running again. I'm going to change this to Darty. I don't need that many Whitaker lineups. That's a ton. Okay. Gosh, this is looking really good. This is looking really good. Lots of clicking, but you gotta make sure you're looking at your whole puzzle. Kish and Burchak. Oh my god. Yep. Poo poo pants. I forgot about that. Oh gosh. So this looks like another opportunity to kind of steal one. Doesn't agree with the price gap. So let's get some Kish. That'll be our other weird play. And go a little above the field. Okay. Burchak. One path. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't. Okay, so I picked two dogs. Here's what I'm going to do with this one. I just want to be as concentrated as possible. You can lose doing this. That takes them out of your pool. Goodbye. This Tony might punish him. Let's see. Just hasn't been impressive. I would rather concentrate this level ownership between in this area. Kish, Gastelum, Panay, Mankun. This will be, see, I've got some really nice, and that's what winning lineups look like. They have one or two from this bucket. So if I can get one or two, I am off to the races. But still, I have ownership up here. I need to address this one, but I've got enough that I'm giving myself a path at a win. And I'm not making my lineup so crazy that the 90% plus that I do lose I'm not going to walk away feeling like I just got beat up. Some of these are going to place very, very highly. It's very likely that I get a very good lineup. But first place, that's where all the equity is. So that's what we're shooting for. Gotta be willing to take weird chances like this. All right. What else? Okay, so we saw something concerning up here. 13. Okay. Debuting fighter. Advantage on the feet. Okay. So she's not a takedown specialist. I need to Wikipedia a little bit more about this person. Hold on. I may not be afraid that if she does win that she's going to get some crazy score, especially at that price. My gosh. All right, so I'm on her Tapology. Win decision, win decision, win decision, win submission, first round. Win decision. She's a striker. I like, that might even be too high for me. That's good. I'm good with that. This is a low ownership bucket though, but you know, I've got really good ownership down here. Leverage against the field here for these two, so that'll still be my preferred path. I'm not going to try to make every dart on every low owned player every time. So this one, yeah, I'll leave it 13. That's fine. I may end up taking her completely out. Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Okay, that's pretty high. I'm not doing that. I'll leave it. I'll have it. Okay. What else do we have? Munoz. Three. Okay, so we're a little low. We're a little bit low. What's the story with this guy? Lightweight, decent win chance. This is a kind of tricky where the odds are really close, and it's a fair hedge weight, and gosh, his price is so fair. We've got to up this one. It's just one of those. This feels like the fight where it's like, why didn't I have more of that guy? Like, this was a pretty evenly matched fight, and his price was stupid. So let's not shoot ourselves in the foot on this guy. Is it? That's low ownership too. It's interesting. Gonna win a GPP today. Probably not. Would be nice though. Okay, but hopefully this helps my understand my thought process and how I do these. Meerschaert. Another one kind of close. So what did I go? Fabinski. 40. Do we think that this fight? Yeah, we can't be ignoring this guy. It's too close. This price is too fair again, so let's get him in there. About a third of our lineups. In alignment with the hedge weight. Looking at Haney, I think I'm a little bit too high. For her track record has been poor. Fighting killers though. She's lost 3 in a row, but 2 of those are Andrade and Jędrzejczyk. So maybe I won't. Let's give her one more shot. Hopefully she gets it done and we're looking good. Or at a minimum, she hangs in there, fares a little better than Lupita's projection gives her. Okay, I'm okay with that after looking at the fight history. Oh, but yeah, those fights were a long time ago. What has she been doing? We'll see. It's relatively unknown. Against a debuting fighter. I'm good with it. Moving on. Nunes and Bern. About equal for each. Oh, this is the one that got pulled. Sorry. Moving on. So that ownership gets spread to other fighters. And then Bush and Hubbard. How are we looking there? I wonder why Fantasy Labs capitalizes. Are they trying to tell us something? Okay, that we're about in line with that one. And Hubbard. About in line with that one. I think I'm ready to call it. You know what? I need to hit save again. I saw something. We're not looking at our latest version. For good measure. Okay, folks. We had some movement. Panay went down. So we're not done. It never ends. It's whack-a-mole. This is my favorite weekly game of whack-a-mole. What thing changed that you didn't notice? So wait a minute. We want something, eh? Let's get some weird stuff. And Bush. We got enough dogs. If he's the one today, fine. We messed up. And Hubbard gets to fight a late replacement guy. Looks pretty good. Alright. Just remember, you can't own everybody. You just... Over time, you will have these overweights and underweights on the right day. And don't do it so crazy that you cause yourself to hemorrhage money. But do it a little bit crazy. Give yourself a chance to win a huge, large field GPP. Oh, Bush and oh, man. See? What was close? All right. Well, here's what we're gonna do. Goodbye. You're not really fitting in with my other targets in this range. Could bite me, but now I'm more concentrated in the other similar priced people. I mean, do we really like this guy more than Kelvin Gastelum? I mean, and then Close went way under. What's been the story there? Oh, it's with a K. Isn't a big finisher, and that's what we really look to target. Fights emotionally, get caught. All right, well, I'm good with that then. Optimizer doesn't like him. MadLab doesn't love him. 10%. Totally fair. $9,000. There's just no way, huh? Okay, she went up a little bit. Close went down. Pena. Ooh, going on up here? I'm gonna have to put a lid on him. Oh gosh. What do we say about Mr. Grovely? 450. I don't want. I'll hinge on one guy. I don't want to hinge on two. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. We've got two fighters out. Cortez went up a little bit. That's cool. I'm putting my pencil down. I am golden with this. Whoa. Whitaker shot back up. Hold on. Hit the fire button a few times. Get that cash film ownership a little bit up. No, it's just I'm just stealing from other buckets. There's just only so much ownership you can share. Okay, that fixed it. Cool. Munoz. Darn it. No, I'm just going back and forth between Gaslam and Munoz. Stevens. Take that off. All right, looks a little better. We lost some Penne. Which I don't want. That's one of our high payout targets. What I'll call it. Low ownership. I think, anything can happen. That's a little better. Arlovsky. I think we've done it. There it is. Who are we missing? Who did we fade? We've only got 19 fighters. Okay. Who's gone? So be it. So be it. I love it. Let's win. All right, so what I do with this is download the file. This is a quick way to get them all into DraftKings. I will enter the large field GPP, and I go to the bottom and go do 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 do. Enter with money, and then I hit bulk enter, submit, Okay. And then come over here to lineups. Come over here to edit. Download. I've got my 2 Excel files. Let's click them both open. Alright, here's my Fantasy Labs file. I copy the whole field, paste it over here, and hit save. I press save here at the top. Save. Upload, and it's usually pointed at my last folder, and upload it. And bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. I'm ready to roll. Are you ready to roll? Let's do it. All right, everybody, that's all I got. Again, this is a head-banging against the wall, long-run game. Just be careful. Do this in the mini-max if you want to play this way. If you have bankroll to do this in the bigger one, okay, do it, but just be careful. Just remember, in these, you've got to get some leverage in a weird spot. MadLab's going to get you right in line with some great picks, but then you've got to read into it a little bit, find that one little creative angle, maybe saying there's a live dog, go 10-20% over his hedge weight, and that's all it takes. I mean, we went through the winning lineups, and I showed you mine, and you know, you'll be in there. Good luck. Hit me up on Discord if you need anything. Be careful, don't go crazy. Mini max if you're starting out. That was the Fantasy Labs optimizer with the MadLab MMA projections. And good luck. We'll see ya.